Hi guys, I am back. Welcome to Sissy Lala's Crafting Loft, and right now we are going to go over your Cricut mats. I know when you get your Cricut it is very overwhelming, especially when you start joining groups and you start seeing that there is a lot more than what came in the box. Let's face it, when you open your Cricut box, you're like, oh, score! I'm going to have all these instructions. Everything is going to, just be so easy and self-explanatory. I'm going to be able to make all these cute things that everybody makes. And it is a huge slap in the face when you look at it and you have this small cardboard box with an instructional booklet, as they call it, that has 3 different languages in it, and it's maybe 30 pages with 3 different languages. So we're going to go over the mats today. I have both the Explorer 1 and the Maker. My husband bought me the Explorer 1 about 3 years ago, and I really dove into it just, I guess, last year, because I didn't have the time to dedicate to it that I wanted to. And you really have to have your undivided attention on design space, on your machine, being able to have that solitude time to get things done. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and go over the mats. Now, when you get your Cricut, you will have, depending on when you ordered it, because I know that the new mats came out, so you will have a green mat. And you see this one has the flowers in it. And these are 12 by 12 mats, okay? And it has this little protective covering on it. We're going to go over mat care as well in a later video. Now, here is another green mat. As you can see, there are no flowers on it. It still has the protective covering. There are no flowers. These are what you call your standard grip mats. Both of these green mats are both standard grip mats, okay? And when you load them into your machine, you load them with the peg hole first, okay? So the green mat with flowers are actually retain their sticky a lot better than your green mat without the flowers. You can clean them using a few different products, and we'll go over that in mat care in another video. So you also have a blue mat, and this is a light grip mat. Okay, you have a pink mat, and this is a fabric mat. You also have a purple mat, which I got mad at because it wasn't holding something the way I wanted it to, and I threw it away because I was mad at it, and turns out it wasn't the mat, it was the material. But there is a purple mat, and that is a strong grip mat. So Cricut Standards for your standard grip mats, which is your green mats. If you guys need to, use some stickies and write it down. Green is standard. So I'm going to go over your Cricut Standards and what materials they tell you should be using on your green mat. And then I'll go over what I found through trial and error works much better, okay? So Cricut Standards for your green mats, which is your standard grip mat as they call them, is cardstock, patterned paper, embossed cardstock, your iron-on, and your vinyl. Okay, so iron-on, I'll give you a quick little tidbit, is also called HTV, which is called heat transfer vinyl, okay? And vinyl can be known as pattern vinyl, 631 vinyl, which is a temporary vinyl, which is something you use for wall applications, window clings on your inside if you do seasonal window clings. Anything that is temporary, okay? Anything that you don't want to stay forever. That is what you use your 631 vinyl for. And then there's also 651 vinyl, which is permanent vinyl. It is used for your car decals, your tumblers, clipboards, mugs, anything you want permanent. That is what you use your 651 vinyl. Your iron-on or your HTV or heat transfer vinyl without the acronym is anything that you are going to use heat to transfer your design onto a product. We will go over those things in a later video, okay? So, once again, your standard grip is Cricut Suggestion, cardstock, pattern paper, embossed cardstock, iron-on, and vinyl, okay? Your light grip, which is your blue mat, is Cricut Suggestion, printer paper, thin cardstock, vellum, and construction paper. Your purple mat, which I got mad at and threw away, Cricut Suggestion is thick cardstock, glitter cardstock, magnet material, chipboard, poster board, and fabric with fabric stabilizer adhered to the back. Your pink mat is literally for fabric, okay? It does not require a fabric stabilizer if you have the maker. We will go over some maker details in another video. Okay. So I know they tell you for your green standard grip mat that you can use cardstock, pattern paper, embossed cardstock on it. I would not suggest that at all. If you can see right up here, this is on my older mat. This is actually backing from my vinyl, okay? And that's a standard grip mat. And my backing is a paper backing. I do not suggest using your standard grip mat with cardstock, pattern paper, or embossed cardstock. I just do not suggest it. I personally have found that it works great for your iron-on, your HTV, whichever you prefer to use it, call it as, and your vinyl. You can also use a new green mat. Doesn't necessarily have to be the ones without the flowers, but it has to be a new one that doesn't have all the stick worn off on it. You can also use that for your faux leather. I'll go over how to adhere your faux leather in a later video. Okay, so write it down. Your green standard grip mat, you can use it for your HTV or iron-on, whichever you prefer to call it, and your vinyl. That would be your 631 and your 651. You can also use it for your stencil material vinyl, which it's called stencil material. And there's also another vinyl. It's called marine grade vinyl. It is 951, and that is a marine grade vinyl, which means it's water resistant. Okay, so those are the things that you can use it on. One more time, for your green standard grip mat, you can use it on iron-on or HTV, whichever you prefer to call it. Regular vinyl, which that would be your 651, 631, 951, and your stencil material. So your 631 is temporary, your 651 is permanent, and your 951 is marine grade. Okay, so your light grip mat, which is your blue mat, you can use it for your printer paper. I use it on all cardstock, whether it's embossed. I have some that are mercury glass type cardstock. I use it on that. I use it on my patterned paper. I use it on vellum. I haven't personally tried to do construction paper yet, but I have done printer paper, and it comes off flawlessly. A problem with your standard grip mats and using any type of paper is that they are sticky. They're sticky enough that you can put your hand on them without the clear protective covering, and you can pick it up. Okay, you can't really do that with the blue mat, but as you can see, you can't really achieve picking it up with the blue mat. There's not really resistance there. With this green mat, sorry, you can put your hand on it and it picks it up. And that's just putting my hand on it. Okay, so you don't want to use that type of mat when it comes to paper, because it will destroy the paper. And I do not want you guys to waste more product than you already will. Okay, so use all your paper products on your light grip mat. Your fabric, the strong grip mat, you have to use when you have fabric with a fabric bond on the back. That if you have anything that is older than a maker, that is what you have to use. But if you have a Cricut maker, you can use the pink mat for non-bonded fabric. Also, the purple mat is going to Cricut Standard for materials that you can use on your purple mat that you should use is your thick cardstock, glitter cardstock, magnet material, poster board, and fabric with the stabilizer. Okay. Once again, you can use your thick cardstock on your blue mat. It's not going to go anywhere because it is a paper product, and as long as you keep your clear protective layer on it, it will go, it will stick. There's no problem to it. Glitter cardstock, if it doesn't have a glitter backing, if it has a paper backing, you can use it on your blue mat. Not a problem. If it has a paper backing, if it does not have a paper backing and it has a glitter backing, what I would suggest is using some transfer tape, putting the transfer tape on the glitter backing side, putting the sticky side on it, and braying it with a brayer, which is a rolly thing. It looks like a rubber paintbrush. It's called a brayer. So you're going to apply pressure and just roll over the cardstock on the transfer tape until it is adhered really well. And then I would lay that on a standard grip mat with the transfer paper down on the mat. And then once again, use your brayer and bray the material on top of the mat. So that way it would adhere really well. And since you're using the transfer paper as a backing on the cardstock, it will not rip it. It's kind of like using a fabric bond on the back of fabric when you don't have a maker. Magnet material, chipboard, poster board. Again, I would honestly use it on either the blue mat or the green mat with a transfer tape backing, and fabric with stabilizer. Those are all things for the strong grip mat. People have also used the strong grip mat when making when you working with faux leather and authentic leather, genuine leather. They've also used the strong grip mat as well. But personally, I've used the standard grip mat with working with faux leather. As long as it is a newer mat that doesn't have a lot of dust and debris on it. I hope this helped you guys, and I hope it gives you a little bit more understanding of your mats. Be sure to click subscribe for more helpful tips on cricketing, and we will be doing some craft projects in the future. So be sure to click subscribe and, you know, share our videos. If you have something specific you want me to go over that you're confused about, go ahead and write it in the comments, and I will do my best to make a video about it. Thank you guys for watching Sissy Lala's Crafting Loft. This is Michelle, and you have a great day.